Okay, it's time now for our regular question from one of our listeners. If you have a question for Bishop Barron, just visit askbishopbarron.com and you can record your question on any device. Today we have a question from Jeffrey, who asks Bishop what you think of the work of a well-known theologian. So here's Jeffrey's question.
Hi, Bishop Barron. My name is Jeffrey from Edmonton, Alberta. Recently, I've been reading, and I have been very impressed by the work of Eastern Orthodox theologian and philosopher David Bentley Hart, particularly his translation of the New Testament and his book, Atheist Delusions. I was wondering if, as a bishop in the Roman Catholic Church, you have any assessment of Dr. Hart's work, and particularly where maybe you think it falls short of the whole truth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. We'd have to do a whole show or series of shows to answer that adequately. I have great admiration for David Bentley Hart. I've been reading him for years, both in the pages of First Things, and I've read his books as well. Love him on the issue of God. I think there's hardly anyone better at naming what I was naming earlier in this episode, the divine simplicity, for want of a better term, what makes God distinct from any being in the world. And see, he uses that quite correctly, it seems to me, to counter the sort of silly, superficial objections of the new atheists. So he's really good on the new atheist stuff and very good on the issues of God. I like what he does there with even other religions. You know, he's got such a capacious mind and is able to see links between some of our own theistic musings and then thought patterns from the East. So all that is really good. I also, he's an advocate of universalism coming up out of an Eastern Orthodox perspective. As people perhaps know that I'm an advocate of the Balthasar position, that one may hope that all people will be saved. It's not the same as knowledge. It's not a universalism in that sense. So I'm open to his speculations along those lines. I think what's really helpful is how he shows the Bible is more complicated than simply certain passages from Paul that were then used by Augustine to say that the vast majority of people are not saved. He's completely right, it seems to me, at bringing forward a lot of the far more optimistic, far more universalist passages in the New Testament. So I've liked that about him. The New Testament, I just got it, and I've been looking at it, but I shouldn't comment because I really haven't read it carefully enough. I did read N.T. Wright's somewhat negative review of it. Now, I'm no great, philologist or expert in Koine Greek and all that. So I wouldn't presume to comment on those details, but he's someone I like and admire very much.